Alrighty, let's pause this. And I think I'm ready to get going. Captrage is ready. Get the chat for Captrage. I need to catch Captrage at D as well. Fine. Got everything set up. Go. And chat for Captrage. Test. Okay, good. Yeah, so I'm gonna cast Survivalist versus Rayz, which was the first bracket 1A main event set that was played. It was played on Monday already, I believe. And I already sort of, as admin for that set, already looked at it. And we definitely have a good representative set of map generations. And we'll take a look at the games. Also, this will be available as a VOD after I finish this stream, as with all my streams. So let's get going. So, oh, the animals are loud. The animals are loud. The animals are loud. There are a bunch of boars in the center. So it's a nomad start. We have 40, probably more boars if I zoom out. 49 boar on the map. For a total of 16k food. And, how does this thing work again? Alt D, right? Mindfuck. Alt D, there we go. They have built quite close to each other, presumably outside of the treaty zone, but quite close. So this is sure to see some early aggression. They are allowed to build wherever they want. There are some rules against laming until the treaty's ended. And at this point the treaty will have ended. And this villager will be lucky if she survives. If it's not, however, there are many boar that can be gathered. And if we check these, they're javelinas or javelinas. 348, pretty solid. I think all the central ones have that much. If we look at other resources, there's a gold mine 690, 4 tiles. Both players have one of those kind of close to them. There are some gazelles with 90 food. Llamas here with 164. There's a goat with 132. Camels have 137. And, well, the question is, where is Survivalist going to find wood? I mean, he scouted wood. Both players already have a decent amount of scouting with their herdables. That's kind of far away, but center is pretty open, so the alternative would be maybe there. That'll do. But here, this wood line is, of course, super close to the TC, which is convenient. By the way, let me know if the audio balance is good, or if I am too quiet compared to the grunting boars. We might actually fast forward a bit to the Dark Age, because essentially they have unlimited food for the moment. And while they're close to each other, we're not going to likely see any more villager deaths for the moment here. I guess we can talk about civilizations too. So we have random civ, of course. We have Bengalis and Mayans. Which suggests we might see archers, we might see elephant archers, we might see Ratha. Could see eagles as well. There are just so many boar here. Survivalist getting a wall up here to the edge of the map. Just to sort of secure, well, he's getting gold at the back and wood at the back, so he can sort of secure off this corner. That would be quite nice. Overall, it's pretty open if you build in the center. If you build somewhere on the outside, well, then you're missing out on all this free food, so you probably don't want to do that. Both players thoroughly taking advantage of the food here, and Survivalist is well on the way to feudal, so we'll see what he does here. He's already gathering gold. He has 158. Actually, both players are gathering gold, but feudal age is closer here. Mayan player. And more. Look how many are still just even in range of the town center here. We have food here as well. Alright, so feudal age, archery range. Where did we build the barracks? We built it as part of the wall. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, if you're this close, you've got to go for some sort of aggression, and you try to get it before your opponent gets to it. So, towers could have been an option, but stone is kind of far away. And archers will be quite useful here. However, Rayz will be in feudal as well. Just a moment. Let's see what the response is here. We see a blacksmith, and where's our... more buildings? Don't see another building. We're going for Castle Age here. But we will need a second building for that. Alright, the blacksmith has been delayed. Tower going up on the wood line is a precaution. I mean, this wood line here could of course be used as well, but it's really not a bad idea. This blacksmith gets built, the villager might still die. Nope, the villager makes it, archer goes down. Still not seeing any military though from Rayz. This definitely looks like play for Castle Age, but we're gonna need another building, unless I missed one. I don't think I did. Meanwhile, archer numbers are slowly climbing, and we have fletching and town watch coming in. And Survivalist is going for a big wall to wall off this whole quarter of the map. Meanwhile, Rayz has clicked up. The question is, can he survive without taking too much damage to Castle Age? The archers are circling around here, but the gold is close to the TC. Tower here denies a nice amount of space. Villagers like this could be in trouble. The archer could also be in trouble. Okay, this villager's gonna dodge a bit and actually survive. I'm surprised. Meanwhile, look at how many hunters we have here. Got a mill. We do have the archery range now, actually. Of course, our building for Castle Age. Are we getting stone? No. What's our Castle Age unit gonna be? Getting market now. I'll balance the eco a bit. These archers could still pick off, or at least keep these villagers from taking any of these. Over here, and to the south, all of them have been taken. Well, maybe this one is still gettable. Ah, villager did go down. And the TC is now shooting at some hunters over here. Of course, they built very close to each other. And, alright, we bought ourselves a castle. That's what happened here. Because there was no stone bank a moment ago. But instant castle drop here. Survivalist is in Castle Age. He can't deny this. So he's going to withdraw and rebuild. They're in a very safe location, the back here, with some food nearby, stone and gold. And basically give up this TC. The archer range will go down eventually too. We have crossbow came in. But essentially these are just roaming around now trying to pick off wandering villagers. The Wrath Chariot here will be able to chase down these crossbowmen. And might be able to cause some damage here if Rayz finds that in time. Is it stuttering? I check if I could close Firefox. Knock that up. Other than that, I will see what I can do with performance. But I'm not sure. I could minimize the game. Yeah, there are some dropped frames, I see. Alright. If it's bad, I can pause to investigate. We'll investigate after this. Not sure what I can do on my end, though, to improve connection. Alright, so Wrath Chariot raids pushed back by a monk for now. And Survivalist basically walling in his back base. There is a hole here still, but with the monk, not pushing into that for now. This TC is basically dead. The front wall, oh, let's see, crossbows are moving out. There's nothing that's exposed though. Maybe if they sit behind this wood line. Everything else is, until this gold runs out, it's a very compact, safe base. Meanwhile, this is also a safe base unless there's a hole here. This looks like an opening. This looks like an opening. That's not good. Monk goes in, TC gets garrisoned, Cherry gets converted. The monk has now gone down. Okay, we've got another monk. Couple conversions could swing this fairly quickly. Alright, maybe it was just the browser that I had open. Hopefully. Alright, we also see skirmishers coming out, and they will do some amount of bonus damage. These chariots. If we zoom out, do we have anything else happening? There's a red dot over here. These crossbows are just looking for villagers that have gone out to other resources, like this gold, backwood lines, back gold stone, but that's not the case yet. Alright, we've got 6 chariots here, but we also have 2 converted chariots over here. And the hole has been closed here. So this is presumably fully walled. And Survivalist has gold, stone, food, not much space, but otherwise a very nice back base here. Getting a market as well now. There, it's just clearing up the blacksmith before they go for another attack. Yeah, so The issue for Rayz now is how to avoid getting converted too much and how to deal with skirmishers. We're getting a siege workshop. We also have a monastery and are getting our own monks. And you can convert back. That can be useful. I'm pretty sure Bengalis have a bunch of monk tanks as well, so they probably have atonement. These crossbows still circling around, still have not found any exposed villagers because the entire eco is here. And what do we have back here? Alright, a bunch of goats. Those could actually make their way back over here, potentially. More important, though, is this fight here. Okay, single skirmisher gets taken out. Eco-wise, relatively even at the moment. This is still a nice central castle position, but not seeing a good answer to a bunch of skirmishers yet. That the Rathlers can deal with it, but not ideal. Let's take a look. These two of the goats actually make it back. A monk snagging a relic finds the other goats, though. We can also check for relics if we want, given that it is standard victory. Do one over there. I see 4 more free relics. The standard 5. And we'll see here. Both have mangonels now. Could have some important fights happening. For now, everyone's just building numbers, though. Brings the relic home. And there's a hill here. It's a nice hill to have. Mangonel needs to go to the skirmishers. This Mangonel would get caught out, but there's no use there to do it. There's relic coming in as well. Given that it is standard victory, you do want to snag a relic, especially if you have monks, just to keep your opponent from springing his standard victory on you. And enough time. One chariot converted, Mangonel's gonna go down. Skirmishers took a hit, but are still in decent shape. Okay, took another hit. Converted chariot takes down the Mangonel, though. And now, are we moving in? More siege is necessary. Meanwhile, it looks like Survivalist is building up a military or an economic advantage. Getting a second TC now, but has managed to, presumably through less... I wanted to say less idle time, but relocating the TC would have cost him. In any case, he does have better ability now. And we see a castle here. Now that castle is not going to go up while there are units on it. However, the skirmishers could force the matter. Okay, that's a safer position. Also nicely on the top of the hill. It's perhaps more realistic. And at this point, it's worth noting the resources, right? Survivalist, he's going to click into him. And then we'll be able to get the first traps out. Probably. Almost got the resources for it. Right now, though, the castle needs to go up. And it's not up yet. There are 2 villagers here right now. A lot of skirmishers. Okay, more villagers coming in though, so this castle will go up at the cost of some villagers. But I think the issue here is that Rayz hasn't quite dealt with the skirmishers. Okay, castle goes up. That secures some gold and a nice hill to fight on. Also, if we look around, second TC came up over here, wasn't spotted yet, might get spotted at some point now. On some gold wood. Second TC came up very safe back here. And we will continue through this wood line. Gone. TC came up just in time. We'll keep an eye on probably the central battlefield. Chariots are going in. They might make it through the gate if someone opens it. Probably not a good idea though, because Imperial Age now coming in, and Rayz is not close to it. He doesn't have resources to sell to get there, I gather. Skirmishers sit under the tower. Meanwhile, chariots here try to clear out the skirmishers in melee mode. And it seems they're doing it.
Shot it.
But costs quite a few chariots. I think we need more siege. And here, oh, I think he hasn't noticed the villagers. Now he's noticed, but it's too late. Most of these villagers are dead. That hurts. They ran out of wood just when all these skirmishers arrived. We have a big migration of villagers here. Perhaps looking for more resources. Meanwhile, we're just healing up some units in here. Ooh, another castle. That will be useful in Imp. 2 trebs. 2 treb production. Castle production of trebs. Then it will just be a matter of losing the trebs to Wrath. So these villagers were going for food. But Rayz realizes nowhere near Imperial Age. Sees the castle going up, knows there's a castle here, and decides to call the GG at this point. So essentially, I felt it was relatively even for a long time. The skirmisher defense against the chariots was quite effective. And yeah, at the end here, losing all these villagers to the skirmishers wasn't so good. But what decided that is ultimately the Imperial here. Powered by a stronger eco. Alright, so we have more games in this set. Also, I should be able to get a point here somewhere. If I do this, yeah, there we go. Perfect. Okay. Then I will grab the next replay for us. Game 2 is once again on HyperRandom, is once again random civ. And we're live. We're live? Let me check. Yeah, looks good. And yeah, drop frames got much better after I closed Firefox, or just by chance somehow. Don't know. Game 2. So, we are on HyperRandom again. This time we've randomed Incas versus Teutons. And we've got a double TC, double base start here. Which, I was very happy to see this. Just to show off that this is now a thing that HyperRandom can do. We've started with a Shah as a scout, and we'll see. I think we presumably have 2 Shahs each. Yes. So we started with two full bases here. Maybe it's just a matter of perspective, but I think each base is closer to the opponent base than the own allied base. Maybe if you project it flat, then that's less of a thing. Villager died to a boar. Maybe there was some blocking going on. Now we're attempting the reverse blocking here. The kings can technically, the Shahs can technically attack, but I gave them a super low reload rate. Let's see if we can see that on the stats. No. Don't know how I got extended unit stats. In any case, I gave them a super low reload rate, so they can attack, but only like once every 2 minutes or something. Because the problem is I think they don't give attack notifications. You can just silently kill units. They're not supposed to have an attack, but because somehow the way it's set up in the game data, because they don't have anything specified, they still deal the default 1 damage per hit, and they have a really high fire rate, which is just jiggling around. And we don't want them to actually be military units. Alright. 4 is taken in. Now, of course, with 2 TCs, you need to get lots of food to maintain production. Going for a mill here. Going for a boar here. We can check actually the berries. 150 each, that's solid. How are these? Like, how are these boars here? Ooh, 543. This is worth fighting for. Getting loom is probably a sensible idea with all this denial going on here. Villager dies to the boar, and she's gonna steal it back. She's gonna steal it in the other direction, yeah. And now it's Rayz's attempt to deny this boar. And, oh, villager takes a hit. Villager takes another hit. Villager is very low, but the boar is taken in. What else have we got here? Ibex, 218 food, quite good. Gold. That one not so much, but this one's very nice. Yeah, like the main gold, the big one is 13, 15 pile. That's quite nice. But we have to keep an eye on everything. It seems the big boar luring fights are over here. We double lure happening right there. Well, on this side is where both players decided to build their mill. Maybe because they were a bit further apart here. We've still got more boar around with lots of food on them. The ibex could be worth going for. How else are we doing? Bears don't have any food. We've got some geese. Not worth it. Let me do this Alt-D thing again. With 2 scouts, both players have done a decent job of at least scouting their surroundings. And the Shahs, interestingly, don't turn up on this list at the top. But I can see a red one there, a red one there, a blue one there, and a blue one pushing an ibex here. They're all still alive. So in this matchup, Incas can go... They can go archers, they can go slingers if there's infantry, they can go eagles, they can go infantry. Teutons could go infantry, they could go cavalry. Lots of options. Double TC essentially just means that we get to a faster eco, right? Survivalist only now getting loom might have been useful in these earlier situations. But, like, our eco is already 33 villagers, 34 when we click up, and we can keep producing in one of the town centers as we go up to feudal age. So I would expect us to also quickly get to castle age here. Typically how double TC maps end up going. have to think about what's the most important thing to look at. Look at trees. Not the most important thing at all. 100 wood. Well, the straggler, 26. Oh, so good. 47, also not so good. 195. 256. There we go. That's this tree you want to chop down. Alright, so Rayz spawns the barracks now, if you didn't see it already before. And loses 1 Shah. But that doesn't matter because we're not playing Regicide. Both players will be in Feudal Age momentarily. Go. And what do we see? We see Blacksmith archery range immediately. And what are we going to see here? Crazy. We see stable. And anything else? Market. Instead. Makes sense with this amount of food. Maybe we balance a bit. Click the Castle Age. And indeed, Survivalist is on the way to Castle Age. So overall, it's kind of Arabia style, bigger wood lines. Double TC, of course. And correspondingly more resources. Alright. Survivalist once again going for just a bit of walling here. And actually, no. Trying to go for more walling. There are some bears here. It is reasonably wallable. We also have somewhat of a building wall here. And then it's really the question, when do they decide to start engaging militarily? We have Eagle Scouts. This one's going under the TC. And number camp here. So this is all very wallable too, right? There, something like that. Stone walling even. We're going for eagles and presumably knights. Yeah, I got another stable. Oh, we cancelled the first one, didn't we? Did. Eagles looking around. They've denied the berries. There's gold. There are woodlands to raid. Lots of exposed villagers. But once the knights come out, they can chase the eagles down, or they can go counter raid. Okay, yeah, that villager is technically, it's a hill, it's a weird hill. Okay. Alright, Castle Age, knights are coming out. Third TC over here for Survivalist on some stone. Monastery for the knights. So with 2 bases, you always have to think where you're going to build your buildings. Is one base more important than the other? You know, if you build the monastery here, then this one could be pretty exposed to knights. Stuff like that. Eagle here. Not spotted, so gets a kill. Probably... No, nope, not another kill. Now knights are out. Meanwhile, on this side, we have the eagles continuing to batter down. This villager is going to go down, yeah. And this wall breaks, so we're going to see another villager go down, and then probably this town center chases off the eagles at this point. Meanwhile, Knight's running around over here. Eagles running around down there, still trying to break through this house. Scouting the back of the base here. Third TC now up for both. But Survivalist has a big eco lead. And if we look at the eco KD, well, he's killed 10 villagers and only lost 2. And those 2 apparently were lost to boar, which we saw one dying somewhere here. Pretty sure we saw that. You shouldn't get houses, Incas. Build a house. Worth 10 population. Go. There is a lot to manage, right? 2 bases. You don't really want to give up on either base. But they both require walling, they both require dealing with raids. Right now, the one thing that we're not seeing is too many raids by Rayz. There are places that are exposed, potentially. You'd have to run under the TC a bit, but that's eminently doable. There are 2 monks. One of them has a relic. And I'm not sure where the other one is. I see more eagles raiding over here with impunity. And right here, Knight's not getting converted yet. Although Teutons, right, have some conversion resistance, which is nice in this situation. Now's the time to bounce the monk. Survivalist once again going for walls all around his base. Gonna wall off his whole half of the map if he can. Shaw there. Fight happening here. All the villagers wall. There are potentially some openings on the far side. And Rayz calls a GG. Is quite far behind economically. Has taken 19. Well, it's taken 20 eco losses here. Which puts him behind. And probably realizes I don't really have an answer to all of this. Maybe looking at the score difference as well. So, that is a second point for Survivalist. We do have another game. Since we're playing best of 5, we could even have 3 more games. Replays. Spectate with Capture Age. And yes, this is also why I wanted to cast this set, because we got a Fatoria start. So we got a Nomad start, a double TC start, and a Fatoria start, which I think is perhaps over-representing just how often you'll get crazy starts on HyperRandom, but it is a good overview of the types of things you'll get. So players started with 4 tents to provide population space for the Fatoria. We started with a barricade that provides nothing. It, well, provides line of sight and a unit for, or a building for enemy units to fight. We're taking in 393 here, pretty good. This gold mine is deceptive. This berry bush is sad because he's alone. And we have a merchant as a scout. Goats don't look too juicy. Sheep about normal. Boar is good. What else have we got? We do, of course, have a resource production building. And this is always interesting because essentially you have to decide how important is it to take out the opponent's Feitoria versus defending your own, or do you not care about it? There's also an interesting dynamic in Deathmatch where you could delete it immediately for 20 pop space, which makes sense sometimes, or short-term gain. That's not a consideration here because you'd rather have the resource trickle. Huh. And if we look at the whole map, it seems we basically have sort of a big hill in the middle where there would have been a forest, but it's been mostly cleared out to have a nice open area in the middle. There is a bit of water. There seem to be isolated shorefish. You could fish boom, but there isn't much fish first, so you'd have to fish trap boom. And you can take units all the way around the outside, but it's also very easy to wall the side, I'd say. So, the big action will be here for this central hill. I see numerous relics. Select one of these. And we already see Feudal Age. Of course, this will be another fast set in terms of eco buildup. Just because starting with a Feitoria lends you to that. Merchants scouting around. Keep scouting around. Castle, Feudal Age coming in for both players. Are these Ibex? Yeah, they're worth going for. This is actually quite nice here. Double back gold in close proximity, nice woodline. Malay versus Cumans. So Cumans, we'd expect Cav Archers or Cavalry. Malay, we could see elephants. Could see Karambits. We will see what the supercharged resources. We'll probably have enough stone for almost enough for a castle if we wanted it early. Why does Rayz have right. Stone for a feudal town center is also nice. Oh, you might as well build it. So this is very wallable as well. Couple back resources. The only danger here is if you make this part of your wall. Yeah, it has a lot of hit points, but you know, it can be pressured. You don't want to lose it, ideally. So, is it scripted that Feitorias are both forward? Can they spawn forward and another backwards? It is scripted for starting buildings, such as Feitorias, also such as castles or production buildings, that they either spawn forward or back, and if they do so, they do it the same for both players. So if you have a castle forward, then your opponent will also have a castle forward. If you have a Feitoria forward, your opponent will have it forward. If you have it back, your opponent will have it back. Just to make things a bit more fair, because, you know, if yours is at the edge of the map here, that's much easier to defend than if it's, you know, below a hill at the front of your base. So Castle Age coming in for the Malay. They, of course, research it more quickly. And what are we going for? So far, economy. And a castle. Oh, okay, the castle does cover some resources, which is good. I perhaps would have put it covering this resource here. Meanwhile, Rayz basically has walled off. Presumably there are no holes here. I'm not going to cast with small trees. There is technically a hole if you go the long way around. So, it looks, at least initially, as if both players... Well, okay. We have to remember, of course, the low vil counts are because they're getting a resource trickle. That's why. Oh, we have a monk and a karambit. Merchant will go down. Karambits will go forward and run into a wall. Maybe like 10 of these can put some serious pressure on Vitoria. And the monk is presumably going for relics. Or is going to go forward. There's a relic there. That could be good to get. We're already going for fletching here. Meanwhile, we have the double infantry upgrades for our Rambits. There's also a palisade gate. Now that, if you want to get through, that's the weakest part of the wall. See that? While villagers are coming to repair it, they will get there in time. Repairing this is more costly, though. Resource trickle was just enough to, well, resource plus mining stone was enough to get a castle here, in defense. You can convert it, but you need redemption, right? Which is an amount of gold that you don't necessarily want to spend just for that gimmick. Because even if you convert this, it's going to either be converted back or destroyed. Villager converted inside the walls, that could cause some mischief, potentially. Castle goes up. Siege Workshop could go up. This villager is just out of range. And some rams could theoretically still pressure this. This villager should go down. No, she's going to build some walls, and she goes down. Yeah. We have Kipchaks, and we have rams. And we have second TC way over there on the gold and wood. Meanwhile, Rayz going for the close walls here. It could be mangonels from outside the range. You could have mangonels up on this hill. You could send rams in. That's why we're seeing a counter siege workshop to deal with any rams or mangonels. Kipchaks are also decent. They're sort of like Chukonus when it comes to taking out siege. They fire multiple arrows. They're going to counterattack. They're going to run into this castle though, unless they see that TC. Alright, 3 rams, and this mangonel is not ready yet. So, Vitoria is going down. 3 rams, it's not as strong as the castle. And the rams were kerosene with karambits. Siege Workshop is going to also go down though, and presumably karambits won't survive this. Well, I guess the double armor is paying off. Surprisingly not dead yet. Alright, rams are hiding, karambits go down, and now these Kipchaks need to go find some damage. Looks like everything is at least partially walled. This monk is moonwalking a bit, and probably will get intercepted. Unless he sneaks away. Nope. Spotted. So yeah, a couple of villagers. Well, one, I saw one go down at least. go down here. This Feitoria could still be pressured as well. And it honestly makes sense to. You know, if you have the resources for a castle, put the castle there. Or go pressure it with siege. Vodkin arrow increasing the range here. Seems to have been, well, okay, what are we producing these archery ranges? We're producing skirmishers. Yes, that makes sense. Getting ballistics as well. Now's the chance to take this out, I'd say. Just camp here for a minute. The mangonel is doing decent damage. Scouting around one here. We do still have the 2 rams. They could take out the mangonel, probably. Or they could go on the offensive. Oh, the rams have been spotted. Rams go down. Mangonel is still up. Mangonel is down. Skirmishers are now here. New mangonel coming for the skirmishers. Feitoria is still half health. Let's just take a look at all of this military. Dodging Kipchak shots, dodging mangonels, dodging skirmishers, dancing back and forth. Mangonel is going down though, and the pyramids will take the other one as well, presumably. And the Feitoria stands for now. 3rd TC coming up for Survivalist. We are on 3 TCs currently already for Rayz. Nevertheless, the eco counts are about the same. And you have to remember that there is also probably, what is it, like 8 or 10 villagers worth of production coming out of this. It's not 20 villagers, of course. See, I have been pinged somewhere. Do that. That will be later. Alright. Skirmishers do have the hill, but not the best fight. They want to be firing at the healed up Kipchaks here. And also check the relic counts. I think that suggests to me that Survivalist has 4 relics, and where's our monastery? What's the Cuman monastery look like? There are no relics in this. Yeah, that's where I would have put the castle initially, probably. 4 relics and a Feitoria, that's pretty nice. Also explains the 1,000 gold, presumably. Let's see here. These stone villagers are overextended. Kipchaks are missing quite a bit, though, I feel. Let's see here. Skirmishers. We have villagers coming forward, looking to drop a castle. We have enough resources for 2 castles, actually. So, could have a counter castle somewhere here. That's what Rayz is going to attempt. However, that might be a bit ambitious. It would deny the stone. It would be a nice place to have a castle, but you're also going up against Malay, who could imp quickly. And yeah, there's a bit too much military here around here, I think. Rayz has enough for enough stone to just put another castle somewhere. All of these stone mile 174, that's not a good example. Okay, we see a counter castle. That castle will likely go up. This castle is also being constructed. Is being cancelled. Probably sensible. So Rayz goes for a castle on this hill instead. That is just outside the other castle's range. That one can probably go up with the advantage of the hill. I did mention these lakes. They only have like one shorefish in the beach. But yes, theoretically it's possible. And Malay fish traps, you know, it's possible. There's a serious amount of villagers on stone here. This castle should go up as well. However, Imperial Age on the way quickly. Yeah, you could fish boom in one of these ponds. Okay. These Kipchaks could do a lot of damage around here, or at least cause a lot of idle time. No one is here to deal with these rams, though. And Imperial Age is in. Question is, does Rayz just call GG here? In the past, the other two sets, he basically did that. Here, there is potential to do damage. He's doing the damage right now. Castle is gonna go down. Villagers, too late to save it. There is stone for a new castle, though. Meanwhile, a lot of villagers migrating here. They are also looking to drop a castle, presumably right about there. We also see a TC. Fourth TC here by Rayz. Nice position with wood and gold. But the problem is how to deal with Krebs and just generally the pressure that's coming in down the center. We are raiding at the back though, right? Survivalist taking losses here to the Kipchaks. Doesn't have any military here though to take out the rams. Managing potentially to take out the trebuchet, that would be important. But then villagers could rush down this. There's also a new castle here though, which will actually protect the rams. Yeah, this pressure here is starting to hurt. Kipchaks here, of course, still doing damage, still causing idle time. They'll be chased away now by the skirmishers. This castle going down as well, and no castles means no Kipchak production. Rayz is in the Imperial Age, doesn't have castles for more Kipchaks though. It's kind of switching into knights, which are good against skirmishers, fine against siege, fine against karambits, which there aren't any on the field right now, but how are we taking out these trebs? We need more knights than two. Does have the eco lead though with the 4th TC, right? Getting a back castle, sort of. If Rayz can continue to sort of turtle and retreat essentially along the edge here, resources, it's conceivable that he's able to hold out. Kipchak's going for another raid. More villagers exposed. Trebuchet's pushing into the base slowly. I guess when we look at this eco comparison, of course, we have to remember there are 4 relics and there's a Feturia still working. Alright, we have villagers retreating further this way. Knight numbers have full armor on them, no attack on them, and we don't have Cavalier yet. Could still be enough to at least push back the skirmishers. How are we doing here? There's still raiding going on here. Eco KD was 20 to 40 here. The Kipchaks have been doing a lot of damage. Now they're finally cleared out. I think perhaps losing those along with this pressure is what causes Rayz to call the GG here. Oh yeah, I did make a nice stream poem. So that is a 3-0 victory for Survivalist in this matchup. And actually, don't we have some statistics that we can look at in Capture Age? Where's this timeline? No, not that. Standard. Where? I saw them. What am I doing wrong? Statistics, there we go. Fancy statistic. Actual value. Percentage of current. Relative to maximum. Stacked line. Capture Rate Pro. So there's sort of a bulge in resources here. Our Survivalist pushed ahead, presumably with the Feitoria, but then here 4th TC and villager losses mean it actually ends up evening out a bit. And looks like Dizzy is done with their stream, so we have more people here. And I will find us another set to watch. So give me a second while I do that. I think we're going to have to look for some Division 2 Rex. Shulk versus KW, maybe? I'll download that set. I don't recall that being casted, although my memory on the exact players involved in the sets that I've watched so far isn't perfect. Yeah, thanks for casting some too. You can always promote your channel on the HyperRandom Discord when you're live, so that people can go watch it. Right. So I will map here. Let's grab game 1. Take with Capture Age. What is Capture Age doing? I have not seen this match yet. However, we need to... Oh, it's already fixed that. Ah, very nice. So essentially, best of 5 round of 32. I can just leave all of that in place. Wow. I can change my stream title, though. I can do that. OBS. Tab. Let's also make sure I haven't been pinged about anything that's too critical. Where was that ping? I saw a ping. Let's go. All right. What was I gonna do? There was something I was going to do, which I don't remember. I downloaded the set, close Firefox for performance, and let's go. So, KW versus LS Bless on HyperRandom again, and this is Division 2. And there's a weird grassy patch here, which I need to make note of this. That looks like a bug. That looks like a bug to me. That something went wrong there. I need to check the seed for this and see what was happening there. Because this looks like some other terrain, like no terrain was picked for this. It's good that I'm actually watching this. And what do we have? We have Vikings, Mongols, random civ, of course. Looks like we have a boar island in the middle with quite a lot of food on them. These wolves don't have any food on them. The starting scout is something that we don't see. It's Gianegra. Oh, Gianegara. We have a trade workshop which doesn't seem to have any special abilities. Did we start with a lumber camp? Or did we build one? I feel like we started with the lumber camp even, perhaps. Maybe we built one though. Paying attention. Yeah, so it's basically sort of a Black Forest or even a Mishi style where each player has their own base. And then they're connected over this center with the ice. And something weird has happened with this. Like, grass is the default terrain. Somehow it wasn't able to catch what terrain it was supposed to be, I think. I will, in my own time, look at the seed for this one. See if I can figure out what happened. Because I definitely, one of my secondary reasons for watching all this too is so that I can see how I can improve the map. So this is a real easy wall off with plenty of resources behind. You could go for the boar, but you should definitely wall off your own base and then just Alt. It was Alt D, wasn't it? Yeah. Worth finding this in the middle and then taking some home. Both players are going to do that. And we can fast forward a bit. Presumably this will be a bit of a longer game. And then we'll see if I do another match after this, or if I have to take a break. Perhaps someone else, maybe Blackadder, will be streaming at that point. I can raid him. Raid anyone who's streaming Master of HyperRandom. So Dave is likely going to be casting more of the sets in the later rounds. It's a lot of the early ones, or at least some of them, are going to be, 3-0 stomps. Even though they could still be very interesting games to watch. As well. We'll just have to see. Alright. Yeah, if you don't know what it is, what the map looks like, it's safe to, it's best to wall off. But in fact, the important wall off is the front. We have a bit of a jostling around here where our starting kings are blocking off villagers to prevent boarlers. And double boar coming in. These are going to make it home. Probably, yeah. Alright, meanwhile we have... how many? 3 boar, okay. Let's see it. Ripple boar incoming. And we still have all 3. They have line of sight of each other, so they keep chasing. We killed one of them with a TC. So, fast castle for our blue player here, Mongols. 2 more boar coming in. I mean, you might as well with such a protected base. It's actually difficult to pressure. You can't really castle drop the opening because it's all ice. You can castle the middle, but you're just securing food. You could go over and secure these resources. But you could shop through here with onagers. Essentially, what are all these? You could build a forward siege. You could push with siege, I guess. You can push TC the middle. Barracks. Siege workshop. Yeah, I guess siege push down the center is probably what you do. Or you just go for an Omega Boom at home. Alright. Both players, though, feel it's important to have a town center in the middle. It is a lot of food, of course, but I don't think it's necessary to have a town center in the middle. Trade workshop isn't giving them a resource triple, it's just cosmetic. Okay, both have a siege workshop. Let's slow down the pace of things here a bit. Alright. I mean, given that they both have a TC in the middle, of course, now there's lots of aggression. There was definitely the potential for this to end to be a low aggression match where you just boom with the resources in your back base, maybe try to secure this stuff. But no, we're fighting for all this food in the center. Alright.
Second.
Two mangonels. This TC is not looking too healthy anymore. Red is repairing it, but it has a mangonel on the way. Needs to take out at least one of these if he wants to keep his TC here. And decent hit. 3 mangonels here now, though. Probably red needs a second siege workshop at this rate. Takes out one. TC is still bleeding resources here because, of course, they're expensive to repair. This seeps over? Ah, the middle doesn't matter. They're fighting over boars. You have, like... Okay, that's a wolf. But you have boars at the back. You have resources. You can give up the middle if you want. Yeah, but... I mean, Mongols are strong, but that's... You know, let's say it gets a late game, right? Okay, fine. You're up against elite Mangadai as Vikings. What do you do there? Admittedly not easy, but I mean you still have decent skirmishers. You can still go for anything in your tech tree. You can try to outboom. You have free wheelbarrow, which you're only taking advantage of with 2 farms right now. Because there's so much food in the middle, I suppose. I guess, okay, maybe because of the hunt bonus for Mongols. That's a fair point. But that doesn't apply to... Does it apply to boar as well? I guess they are hunters. They are hunters when they're killing boar, so yeah, probably it does. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. That's... I didn't think of that initially, but yeah, that's fair. Well, Red's TC did die. Red is retreating with... Don't build a lumber camp there. This place is overrun. There is a castle potential for blue here. And with this much control in the middle, blue could just put a castle here and take control of the whole center. Going for a safe castle to begin with. But still on stone. I think what red needs to do actually is just another TC back. You lost the TC here, another TC somewhere there. Or there. Look at all, you know, there's gold. That's not so much gold. There's a lot of stone though. I think the fight. No, red is building a new TC in the center. The center is not this important. The center is not this important, I feel. Both players know what's in the center, and that's, you know, still like a dozen or half a dozen more, but that's, your TC is in range of the castle. You cancel the TC, you retreat back, you build the TC at home. There's a hole. There's a hole. That is a hole. But there are no units that would go into the hole right now. Red is going full siege here. Scorpions and mangonels. It's going to be up against Mangadai, though. You can go for a wonder. You could retreat back to your base, build a wonder, and you could probably hold out in your base for, you know, the 200 years. Put a wonder there, there. You don't have to push. Of course, blue could also do that. And neither player is going to remember that they can build a wonder. So that's not actually going to happen. The only time when we're going to see a wonder is if there's an actual Mishi start, or if it's an islands map, and it's like 2 hours in and neither player has won. Yeah, you can push from the center, but it is... I mean, yeah, okay, you can have your trebs, but it is awkward because you don't have any space to push to build castles forward. I mean, for now, there's only 4 Mangadai with partial upgrades. They are taking damage. Okay, we are pushing with mangonels. That's good, but red doesn't have any army besides siege. What are you gonna, like, the opening is nice, but you need some, you know, this is when you need cav archers or as Vikings, you know, archers probably would be good to go into here right now. Zerks would be fine too if you had them. But without any army behind this, it doesn't matter that you've opened up the front. Especially because of the hole anyway. Alright. Mangadai have cleared up most of the siege. Villagers are now retreating back to base. To build the TC, yes. At this point, though, the Eco KD is not looking too nice. For red. And we'll see... I mean, blue might waste a bit of time clearing out this. It's also going to rebuild the TC. My goodness, these players really want a TC in the center. Yeah, I mean, there is still food. It's a lot of food. It is a lot of food. Maybe I'm underestimating how much these boar are worth fighting for. But we've seen 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 4th TC that's being built in the center. Space is a point, and there is lots of space here that neither player has concerned themselves with. But yeah, this is a bit cramped now. This is definitely true. And blue does have the advantage there of having a bit of a larger back base, while red's back base is a bit clogged with wood. That castle, that could be the one that decides the game here. This is true. And if this castle goes up, well, at that point blue has a foothold in the base. And can just, with Imp and this castle, can just push. What do we have in response? 2 skirmishers so far. Looking good. think this might be a case where either with the castle or with the imp is when we see the GG here. I mean, in reality, the castle doesn't actually deny resources, but still, it will definitely be game ending here. Just because it gives a nice foothold at this entrance. What do we have? Yeah. Nothing else happening anywhere else. There's a ram taking out stuff here. Imperial Age coming in. And the thing here is red is not close to imp. Otherwise, you could hope that, okay, I have a bigger eco at home, maybe, because I'm Vikings. And, you know, blue doesn't have wheelbarrow. I have handcart. There's wheelbarrow. But I think this is going to be over. Because the siege can quite, you know, you can quite safely set up trebs behind this castle, take out all the forward base, and then just push in. That's what we will see momentarily. Red is still holding on, massing skirmishers only at the moment. Blue just building up trebs. And this should be the end here. Third treb coming. There's a bunch of skirmishers, but the skirmishers can't push into the castle. And we have onagers coming in as well. This is very over. Imp is coming in, but by the time Imp actually comes in, should we check which TC it's being moved? This TC? Probably the safest TC to research it in. Red is doing the right moves, right? Try to stall, boom back into it, but I don't see an easy way for red to win this at this point. Perhaps so these Mangudai have taken their time and not actually gone into attack yet. Presumably they are somewhat scared of the skirmishers. Another castle here. University. A lot of denied farm space though, right? And economically our Mongol player has over 20 more villagers. And control of the center. And control of those resources. Okay, we have a couple berserks. It's actually a lot of skirmishers, but skirmishers can't go up against onagers. Especially, siege onager coming in. And so far, our skirmishers are still okay. Berserks get flattened, though. Now skirmishers get flattened. And now it should be GG. Once these skirmishers die. There we go. We do have some more games in this set. And let me just check something for a moment. There we go. All right. So that is a win for our blue player here. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I need to copy out that save game, actually. I need to look at that in my own time and see. There was something was weird about that. All right, game 2. Load replay. And where's capture age? Where's capture age? I have too many tabs. There's capture age. All right, yeah. Right. Okay, so both players started with a beta camel rider and a trireme. Yeah, we were discussing. This is also, I also need to look at this a bit more. This trireme spawned in the backwater, and this one spawned in the main water, which is not ideal. It always spawns in the closest body of water, which presumably was right there for blue, and right there for red. But we'll see if that makes a difference in the outcome of the game. We also have these lighthouse. Oh, is it going to crash? It didn't crash. There was a bug where some Gaia buildings crashed the game. Crash capture age, not the game. There we go. Let's check if all this looks good. Alright, so what? We have Armenians and Goths on a full water map. This is a case where you can consider going for a wonder. Perhaps. You know, on your back island. It is cracked terrain, but still, each corner island has some gold. Has some water buffaloes. Actually, no, cow bees. Black cows. They have a white-black icon, though. Let's see here. Lots of black cows. Lots of food on them. Pigs are okay. Berries are pretty good. Gold is looking good. Stone is looking good. Yeah, lots of resources. This gold pile is small, but both players should have the same resources on their islands. At least gold, stone, and food. There shouldn't be too many neutral resources for one player that aren't there for the other player. Other than wood lines, perhaps. These will grant line of sight if they are converted, but so far they have not been converted. And this is a bireme. Oh, did I call it a trireme? It's a bireme. Which does 10 melee damage. And ram damage, so yeah, it does a bit of extra damage by ramming. I think, okay, we started with a yurt. And, right, our beta camel rider is just chilling at home. Should have auto scout. Let me check the fog of war. The blue sees that. Alt D. Alright. Yeah, so players will realize that they can't reach their opponent by land. So we will see a water fight eventually. I think this is a calls for fast forwarding until we get to the water fight or landing. See feudal age coming in. Or Armenian player. Goths get Dromans now, don't they? That's good, because in the past they didn't have cannon galleons, right? So that isn't necessarily bad. Armenians, of course. I think they get Romans as well, don't they? Blue is taking control of this lighthouse, which grants a very nice line of sight. Has not spotted that lighthouse yet. I think those are the only two lighthouses on the map. Oh, there's another one back here. So, yeah, red, of course, had the disadvantage of having the ship trapped at the back, but the advantage is that it notifies you immediately that there's a body of water here where you can safely fish boom. While blue is fish booming where it is less safe. Could, of course, also go to the back lakes here. The map overall does favor blue, just because you have two back bodies of water that are safe, your ship spawned forward, and you can contest this corner more easily. But that will sometimes happen with HyperRandom. Let's see, so this dock gets denied right now. This is the trickiest thing. So red is going to try in a couple different locations. Blue's going to try and patrol the coast, but it is a very long coast. So I would expect a dock to get built at some point. Yeah, so these ships will go here. This dock will get built. Let's... Blue still patrolling the front. Red got a dock built up here. Blue will spot this dock. Start attacking it. Red is not producing anything at this dock. Has the resources for Castle Age, just gonna go for Castle Age. Meanwhile, blue basically has water control at the moment. Will be in Castle Age as well. But it's really a matter of what players want to do with it. Water is useful here. Doesn't fully win you the game though. And this is a map where if you want to go for Wonder, this could be your chance. You build it on the back lake and just stall out. It's possible at least. Alright, red is... Let's slow down. Red is going for 3 TCs. Is not contesting the forward water, but has a nice fish boom at the backwater. Blue starting to fish at the back as well. And patrolling the shorelines. Building outposts as well to prevent landings. That's always important on maps like this. Yeah, red is basically going for a boom. And blue is going for water control, but also getting the second, third TC up. We will keep an eye on the whole map. And accelerate time. Monk to get relics makes sense. Warrior priest to get relics also makes sense. Each island presumably has 2 relics on it. Let's see. Wait, let's see. How many? Do Armenians get don't they get a free relic when they build their fortified church? So there will be a slight relic advantage here, ultimately. A lot of ships patrolling the coast. At this point, taking control of water requires dropping a castle on the shore. So, red also building outposts further back to spot any landings. Right, if we look at our combined fog of war here, both players... Well, red has full visibility of the coast, except maybe here, but... And blue would also definitely spot any landings. Hasn't taken control of his tower. Alright. there's the landing. There's the first landing. What are we going to do? We're going to start with an outpost. It's only one villager. It's not a very ambitious landing. Alright, we're just building outposts. This is going to get spotted, though. Sooner rather than later. Actually, with one warrior priest, that might be an attempt to snag a relic. But there is no relic left to be snagged here. And our beta camel rider, he is going to be converted eventually. Or at least chased away. So. Both players still just content to boom at the moment. This landing hasn't amounted to very much other than outposts. Warrior priest is down. We now have a fortified church forward. Monks could actually be another way to retake the water. Now we need to slow down. This will allow buildings and docks to retake water. Might be good to have some monks here to chase off the war galleys. There is this landing as well, though. The castle is up. Just need to retreat. And red can now establish a presence in the forward water. Both players on the way to Imperial Age. No player had any indication yet that they're going to build a wonder. Boating disaster. The fact that it's a water map. What's being produced here? Transport ship. Okay, we're going for a counter landing. Researching anarchy. Infantry upgrades. So this could be a Huskarl spam. Blue, predicting this, has already decided to wall off very generously this whole, basically abandoning this part here. And these castles here are nice because they control part of the channel. Just need to check sure. This landing is still not done much. Basically, okay, we're building forward barracks now. Building forward, so each player is building barracks on the other player's island. Blue has walled off. That looks like there aren't any holes. Could lose the docks. Meanwhile, red, there we go. Elite Huskarl, more infantry upgrades. And we're going to go for two-handed swordsman here. See Dromans. Dromans will be nice. Although, what can they actually range? They can take out the castle. Red has a fleet of fire ships, though, here. Not a huge amount, but that's enough to stall here. And the Huskarls are moving in. And the Huskarls are going to run into stone walls. Fast fire ship, probably a good idea if you want to retake water. We have heavy demo coming in. Fortified wall, yeah, makes sense. There, that tree, there's one tree there, seawood. On the water, this fleet is dominating. Fast fires, ooh, okay, we have a lot of heavy demos coming in. So, red is not really contesting the water. And has decided to call the GG here. Probably not necessarily necessary to do it at this point, but it is tough if you lose water control, and it is tough if you're up against fortified walls. Red was presumably hoping that the Huskarls could do some damage here. So this is a victory for KW, meaning that it's 1-1 in the set. And I will get our next match ready. How are we doing in terms of stuttering and so on? Probably still okay. Hope so. Map. Game 3. Capture age. Okay, this looks like typical DE map. African clearing, we don't have the ponds though. We have, do we have anything special? We have a back drain camo as a scout. We have an outpost. Yeah, this is about as standard, oh well, as standard as it gets. See here, rhinos. What's our situation at home? Berries have a lot of food. Rhinos have a lot of food. Other rhinos also have a lot of food. Have even more food. Pigs looking good. Gold looking not so good. Yeah, the gold is looking low. Except that gold, but that's the tertiary gold that's not particularly close to players. How about the neutral resources? We go over here. 827. One. Lion. Yeah, I mean, there's some neutral gold to go for. Pretty standard looking map. And I will accelerate the Dark Age. So we have Vietnamese and Persians. So, Persians, of course, have bonuses against archers, against foot archers. What can Vietnamese do against that? What do you go for as Vietnamese? Grab elephants? Let's go for rattan archers or archers anyway. I'm not sure. We will see. For now, players are happily taking the rhinoceros. It's just a standard outpost. Yeah, this is reasonably standard. There aren't even any hills, except I think the outside is lower down. Fairly open as well. Like, it is wallable, but you know, you have to put in some effort if you want a wall. So we should see some feudal aggression. What is this tower securing? Oh, it's a forward tower. Okay. Forward tower on the berries, fair enough. Let's bring the scout into the fight. The tower is burning, the tower is going to go down. It's not. It's close. Very close here. Looks like the tower is going to stay up. But good tower fight. The berries, losing those is not so good. Now red is going to move towards the stone mine here. That would be a good place to secure another tower. Meanwhile, do we have counter pressure? Blue has spotted where the stone is. And turns out that red doesn't have any more stone left. At all. So no more towers at the moment. see a defensive tower here to secure a wood line. At this point, I think this aggression can't do too much. It can deny some farming space. But red doesn't have the stone for another tower yet. All we have there, just some pigs. Blue going to stone as well. Makes sense since we're in a tower war situation. Blue could also try to counter a raid. I mean, there's nothing here, but there is some damage to be had. We have skirmishers versus skirmishers. No blacksmith upgrades for either player. Having a scout in the mix is useful though to soak up some damage. And overall, fairly even here. Hello, hello. Oh, thank you. Alright. Red now going for a wall here. Blue sees this, but is too busy at home. Plus, it's only a camel. So this will be securely walled at the moment. Meanwhile, though, red is not really finding more damage. Yeah, these towers can annoy some farms and shoot at the TC, but the wood line is safe. The golds haven't been pressured, aren't being gathered from either though. Blue has space to retreat back. And counter tower, so we have counter tower won't necessarily go up. There are a lot of low villagers. Blue wants this tower, though. And is willing to fight for it. Okay, so we've got a tower war here. And eco's relatively even. Both players going for skirmishers. They're going to attack the tower. Skirmishers can actually sit under the tower. And red choosing to abandon the position. Red can't rush down this tower because it's covered by the town center. So yeah, I think it is necessary to abandon it. And at this point... yes, so red can consider denying this gold. Neither player is gathering gold at the moment, but at some point gold will become relevant. And here... fully walled at home. Eco KD 2-0. Too many deaths. Alright, blue adding in another tower just in time as the skirmishers loop around to the back. That should push them back. These spearmen out of position, but TC ungarrisoned a bit too early. Doesn't matter. So I think blue has basically defended this, right? Equal skirmisher mass. Tower currently only denying the berries. Skirmisher is looking to do some damage here, but not too much damage to be had. Wheelbarrow coming in for red. all the spearmen died. So, got new spearmen here. But skirmishers taking losses. Blue now just building towers everywhere to defend. You're on stone anyway. You know that your opponent has some forward villagers. This villager is actually attacking the mining camp rather than the tower. That's a misclick. And now blue secured gold as well. Red going for another tower here covers the other gold mine and some farms again, but I think there's a limit to how much you can do with towers, and we've sort of reached it here. Probably better just to get up to Castle H, build something else. And blue could consider honestly getting guard tower with this many defensive towers. This one does get built. We have fletching from both players as well to add a bit of extra range on the towers. Alright, red is continuing with the tower aggression. Really does want to commit to the towers. That will help cover the other tower, deny the gold a bit. But ultimately, blue is up to Castle Age, red is also up to Castle Age. That's when things will get exciting here. You know, this camel is now trapped and is still keeping an eye on the gold and stone gathering that's happening here. Red's still fully walled at home, hasn't faced any pressure at home either though. Blue with a slight eco lead and well defended with towers at home. Red building another tower even. Look at this. This one in range of this one so that it can fight it. The red really wants to make this tower rush work. I think the window for that is a bit late. Okay, siege workshop. Cavalry armor. This stable's not looking too healthy though. Scouts circling around looking for anything open, but everything is fully walled. Knights. Knights could, with sufficient mass or sufficient armor, they could potentially clear out some of this. Blue needs a replacement stable. Let's see, what have we got? Monastery. Makes sense. Makes sense, that's a good unit to help defend this position. Going for Bodkin Arrow. And we have a ram coming in here. And I don't think red can deal with the ram right now. Cav archers. So red is desperately trying to still make this push work, but I think things are turning around. This is enough knights with enough armor to clear out most of the forward troops. Tower goes down. Skirmishers have been mostly cleared. Forward villagers are 2 left. Camels. Camels for the cav archers, I guess? Sure. I mean, there aren't many cav archers. What have we got here? A knight, cav archer, monk. Monk is useful. Knights, cav archers, insufficient mass. I think this forward is going to be cleared up at this point. And meanwhile, both players currently on 1 TC still. Red getting a second TC up. Stone has been cleared out. There is more stone in the center. There is more gold forward as well. Alright, blue getting a second TC, also on another wood line. And more armor. Husbandry. So we're going for basically cav archers versus knights. I think I want to favor virgins in this matchup in this situation. We have monks from both players. Oh, well, the option. Actually, no, this monastery is down. We have monks only in blue. I think with +2/+2, these knights can rush in here. The cav archers will destroy the tower. So can red make something work behind this? Going for a monastery at home, getting more gold, trading with the cav archers, but there are no production buildings at home, right? I'm not seeing any. Well, that's going to be an issue for red. So the 4 production buildings are cleared out. Blue adding 3rd to C as well, securing that gold. We got here, it's a knight. Okay, that knight might notice these villagers, cause some damage. Alright, last building going down. What do we have coming in here? Cav archers, knight does notice things. Cav archers might find some damage, might find some idle time, but there are a lot of towers around here now. Not too many openings to do damage. And we have camels coming back to fight the cav archers. A blue with a big military advantage here. 3 cav archers left. Now blue can push. And should push. Cav archers, they're hiding. There are places where they can maybe do a bit of damage, but at this point I'm liking blue's position. Oh, that's just a mining camp, okay. Outpost coming up right next to the siege workshop. Monks. More monks. Monks could defend this for the moment. Cav archers have found a weak spot here. There's some damage to be done. More damage too on these stone miners, perhaps. One knight gets converted, goes for a scorpion, will destroy the scorpion. Cav archer numbers starting to look nice. Thumb ring and ballistics coming in. Another conversion. Military numbers and actually eco numbers have evened out fairly well here. Blue getting more stables up. Red expanding the archery ranges to get more cav archers in. Camels trying to take this fight. The camels don't have any attack upgrades right now. Well, the cav archers are almost fully upgraded for Castle Age now. Defense, of course, is more important. Let's match up here. We see a lot of villagers moving forward. There are not resources to build a castle, though. What are these villagers doing? Red floating a lot of wood. Floating a lot of food. This is getting messy here. Alright, light cav to take out the monks. Cav archer numbers dwindled here quite a bit. Currently only 3 cav archers left. That's not good for red here. Also, no more monks. Convert any of the knights. Looks like blue pushing in a bit. Exposed villagers here as well. It's red still. Red does not have any counterattacks happening. Blue has 4 TCs now. Red going for back stables, going for light cav to deal with these monks. And also noticing that there's currently no gold income. So, red could get gold, but... Okay, that's what red was trying to go for earlier. The problem is... outposts here. We will spot this immediately. There are also outposts going to be built everywhere. Alright, this TC though is going to go up. We'll secure some gold for the moment. Light cav being produced in the interim until there's gold available. Blue pulling ahead though here overall. In terms of map control, in terms of eco KD, in terms of KD overall. And this TC is actually not going to make it. It's going to go down. Which is not good because red needs to find gold sources. So red is going to look for gold. Red is going here, but this TC spot is already taken. Where else can we get gold? This would be the gold mine to go for. Alright, red is going to fight this villager. Blue sending more villagers there. This TC, alright, looks like the villagers may have ungarrisoned and destroyed the ram. The TC will survive if the ram isn't defended. Meanwhile, here, big Jill fight. And red realizing, I'm actually behind. And losing gold control. So it's 1-2 in this set, and we have more matches. So let me grab our next game in this series. That was game 3, wasn't it? Trying to replace, so... Okay, let's capture age. I don't think I updated my stream title, did I? Probably not. Okay. So, Nomad player started with a siege tower. Is there anything else that I need to set up? I think no. I think we're alright. Both players building their town center right away. Siege towers scouting around. And see what kind of map. It's Arabia, basically. Although, there are some spots that are nice in terms of resource density. Like there's a spot here, and there's also one on the other side that are very high in resources. Actually, there are a fair amount of resources overall. But specifically, that may be back here. There's also a pyramid. If I click this, his capture is going to crash, probably. I will not click it. It grants line of sight, though. The player controls it. Alright, we are going to fast forward while the treaty goes on. Although I could look at... yeah, we're going to fast forward a bit, and I will look at the resources. So, decent food on these. Not so much on that. Gold... gold is kind of low. Stone is also lower than usual. Yeah, okay, so lower gold and stone than usual. But decent amounts of food. Ostrich here. Mouflon. It's running around. Ah. Alright, and the TC spots. Blue has a very nice one with triple wood lines. All the other resources kind of far away. There are 2 boar, though, nearby. Red has a nice one, but there's a cliff here blocking some farming space. Easy to wall, though. There's a natural tree wall here. Perhaps. A bit closer to some resources. We will accelerate time. How's the siege tower doing? It's... compared to a villager, it seems to be slightly faster or about the same speed. 0.8, and how fast is a villager? 0.8, exactly the same as a villager. Siege tower could, of course, be useful for some things like transporting over, I'll say it, walls later on. We have men-at-arms coming forward. They can hop on the siege tower if they want. Although they're faster than the siege tower on its own. If they're in the siege tower, does the siege tower get faster? Should, right? They're not getting in, though. Where's the third one? Or they're militia still, they're not actually men-at-arms. Anyway, this... yeah, you could transport, assuming there's a place to ungarrison, which, I don't know. You could transport over this wall. Red realizing this, panic building a wall behind, and escaping. Probably? No, building a house. Alright. That would have been a chance to transport over, not anymore though. Red has successfully walled this in. For the moment. We're just scouting. Alright, we'll stick with this. So at this point, if blue destroys one of these segments, say this one, could then attempt to transport over the segment behind it with the siege tower. There might not be space for the 3 men-at-arms to ungarrison on this one tile, though. Blue going for archers. Getting a tower, yeah. Blue finding this high density of resources. Towering it. Mining camp mill, yeah, makes sense. Where are the... okay, that's 2 archery ranges, actually. I want to see units transported over with the siege tower. But archers will do the job just fine. So red actually building a watchtower here. this will be destroyed, the men-at-arms can now attack the watchtower base. They could just stay here and attack the watchtower. And we're being raided. Hello, hello. We are currently casting Division 2 of Master of HyperRandom. Alright, Siege Tower now has archers in it. The archers, if they get under the tower, will be safe, and then they can shoot at the villagers. So these villagers are dead unless the house gets deleted. Yeah, they're... okay. They might escape to somewhere. Probably just destroy the tower. I mean, I guess you want to kill the villagers, but destroying the tower is also useful at this point. Red, though, behind all this, has made it to Castle Age. As Italians versus Dravidians. Has a stable. Could make knights. Is getting the armor for it. And blue is not close to Castle Age. And is now looking to do some damage. But there's no damage to be done here. This is all covered by the town center. And these villagers are far away. Too bad. Like, this tower was so low. Just a couple more hits would have destroyed it. Guess you can destroy the enemy siege tower. Not really necessary though. Red either walling up or going for resources. Going for the gold. Those villagers are out of place. Yeah, this is a nice spot to get gold, but not when the enemy has archers nearby. So red actually needs a TC somewhere over here. Or back there for gold. Perhaps? Yeah, pretty good visibility for the combined visibility. Knights. Still a lot of archers though. And this has the men-at-arms in it. Can the knight do damage? There's the tower. Knight won't be able to do too much damage over there. What? Okay, so this siege tower is just blocking, basically completing the wall by standing there. Alright. Blue looping back, gonna find this lone gold miner. Meanwhile, where did red send the villagers? All the way over here. Let's Alt A. That was it. It was Alt T, wasn't it? So blue sees this. Blue theoretically knows about the gold, but wait. Let's try this again. All right, this is what blue knows about. Should probably scout the back here. Scorpion is gonna go down. Let's see what red can see. How do I switch the point of view? Shift right click. Red knows about the back gold, but has gone for the far, far, far. Monks? It is feudal versus castle age here. Theoretically, enough knights should clear. I love how the siege tower is basically part of the wall. Lengthening the... Okay, now the siege tower is retreating. What's the play here, though? The archers need some siege to... Need to reach castle age and some siege, yeah. Do more damage at this point. Ah! They can get it. That's actually not bad. You can hop in to prevent the conversion. Of course, the siege tower itself can be converted. But then you let the units out and fight the monks, so... As long as you keep hopping in and out, it's actually... not bad. You can really do some shenanigans here. I guess siege tower doesn't get faster with units in it.
Presto.
Alright, so blue going for infantry armor. Red is really just... playing defensive for the most part here. Hasn't built extra TCs though. Perhaps doesn't quite have the resources. Hasn't built much of an army other than monks. Bit of siege coming out. Mangonel will be harder to deal with for this siege tower transport here. Castle Age coming in, crossbow makes sense. This tower could use with being destroyed. Alright. Crossbow, bodkin coming in. Infantry armor for... oh, ooh, the monk. Mag the relic. Probably? Nope. Okay, red player is getting a TC up out here on the gold. That's important because this could get discovered and is hard to send villagers to. Meanwhile, though, blue, quite happy with the base at home, hasn't been pressured. Has the army advantage, has the eco advantage as well. And I've somehow switched to a thing where I can't see stats. Yeah. These archers are all, crossbows are all a bit low. Alright, we're going for men-at-arms. Or longswords. We're not making longswords, or do we have barracks? We have extra barracks? We have one. Adding a TC. Dravidians, Italians. Italians... would go for gunpowder in the late game. No need to go for their unique unit currently. But at the moment it's really just Monk Siege's defense. For red here. Well, we've got squares as well. Now we're making more longswords. And we got more barracks up. Can longsword crossbow just win this? Potentially. There's no defensive castle in sight, so that's at least plausible. Getting an outpost up. Blue getting an outpost up. Red not getting the outpost up. And the siege tower moving in to take out the Megan out. That actually works. The siege tower was repaired. I didn't catch that, but yeah. Makes sense. You can. It's actually surprisingly useful. I think it's a good starting scout. You can do a lot with it. I've got longswords moving in here. It protects your infantry from monks. Mangonels are hard to deal with, though. Essentially, you have to dodge the mangonel shots, then unload your units close to the mangonels, then hop back into the siege tower before you get converted. Not easy. And then not spend too much time in the range of the town center because you take damage. This time the siege tower actually can go down. Of course, Castle Age, you can build new siege towers if you want. Not seeing any in the queue, but you could. Blue still ahead in eco, better KD, and 2 town centers versus 2, but has had less idle time. Still controlling this gold. Still has not spotted that gold. That mangonel's gonna get converted. These, I mean, it's only 3 villagers, they might find them eventually. Ooh. Wait, red got redemption? Of course, converting mangonels. That, on the other hand, is a threat. So the monk siege push starting to become dangerous here. Might have to delete your siege workshop here. Yeah. And then, what is Blue's answer? Siege workshop at home? Sure. But... might be time for some light cap. Would help against the siege too. Okay, this is nice. That's a lot of dead villagers. That's a lot of dead villagers, and this gold is denied. And Blue currently doesn't have any source of gold, which is needed for this army. 4 buildings being converted, though. Barracks converted, archery range is going to get converted, probably. And Blue doesn't have a good answer to all of this at the moment. Man, 1 mangonel if it gets a real lucky shot, but... 2 forward buildings here, that's not so good. Alright. Those crossbows did a good job. There's big eco advantage, 29 to 3 and big KD here, 1 to 29 on the reverse. Hello, hello. Still got some crossbows back here too. Alright. Blue getting a castle. That will stop the monk siege push. At least in this angle. Also getting light cav over here. That will also help against the monk siege push. Red has a spearman. Monks. Oh boy. Well, that wasn't enough light cap for the job. They got slapped. Yeah, so the castle secures this side. Now red can shift over and pressure this side. Takes out the mangonel. Monks should eventually go down to white cap, though. Yeah, crossbows looping around. They could pick off mangonels on monks if they're careful. Spearman's gonna get converted. Overall, Blue's position is still better, though, just a massive eco advantage. Blue, red moving out here again, but this is definitely be spotted. We still have, like, the starting long swordsman probably sitting back here. Crossbow there. Map control. four more light cav. The monk could go down here. The siege is a bit out of position. Siege could also go down. The monk is out of position. This might be the end of the push. Siege tower is the only forward military at this point. Red could call it GG. He's gonna go for a castle in defense. Not some roomy swordsman though. Yeah, that's GG. And there we go. Overall, a set 3-1 was a good set to watch though. I enjoyed watching that. And I think that's gonna be it for me tonight, probably. There are, of course, more wrecks I could cast always, but it's been a bit now, and I think I'm gonna call it a night. Let me see if there's someone I can raid. Let's see. How do I do this? Is anyone else casting HyperRandom games right now? Or maybe you guys can tell me. I'll just check quickly what I can see here. I'm looking. I am still looking. Yeah, I don't see anyone casting HyperRandom right now. Hmm. Don't know. There is one more. There is another set that I could do. In Division 2 if I wanted to do Philippa. Did someone else cast that? I think someone else did. I think Blackadder Plays did cast that one already. I don't know. Any questions, you guys? Otherwise, I'm going to send you to... Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I'm undecided. I need to remember to check out that one generation that I think was a bug. To the the weird grassy land on the snowy map. I will send you to Blackadder Plays. Yeah, let me. I just need to find him. Even though he's doing Age of Mythology, I will still send you there. Ha. There you go. I think that worked. I've never actually rated someone. Check my stream. Yeah, anyway, thanks for joining. And I'm going to call it a night here.